Hello and welcome to the top of the world, and welcome to part 2 of connecting the house to the well. What a nightmare I'm having with this. Is everything just, has it escalated way out of control? Oh yeah. If you remember the first time I slid the top of that well off, I said I weren't going down there. Well, I ain't finished the job. I haven't. The next hour is going to be just part of what I've got myself into. So initially my thoughts were at the beginning of this, scrap everything that's in the well, dig a huge trench to the house, relay all new pipework, new pump, new pipework, new pressure tank, new plumbing, everywhere. So part of what I'm doing is finding out if there's anything useful that I can use. Well, I'm pretty sure, in fact I'm confident, the pipe between the well and the cellar is good. But as for the rest of it, enjoy the next hour. I've cleaned the thread with a wire wheel and a wire brush, even getting in there with this and turning it as many times as I can to clean out the threads. What am I working in here? Well, I couldn't work out why there's so many layers of sand. And you can see very clearly the layers here of the years. And there's a breach in the cellar wall. And each spring in washes the sand. For those of you who don't know, this well, for a great many hundreds of miles north and south, is glacier beds. The whole of northern Sweden is glacier beds. And therefore we've got no soil, we're just on sand and gravel. So everything is built on sand and gravel. And of course this shifts year on year on year. And it pushes with the frost. So you get frost push as the permafrost melts and then resets depending on the overall temperatures of the years. And the warming and the cooling and so on and so forth. Anyway, over the years, each melt, sand washes in through the wall, and the cellar floor is actually maybe a foot thicker than it should be of just sand, and you can see the layers of it just where it's just washed in. You can see the layers in the sand, like a story of a tree, different layers, different years. And the fact that there is so much sawdust on top actually means that the rot in the floor and the collapse of the underfloor is more recent. So this is the drain plug to the tank, and the reason I'm putting it in and not cleaning the tank out is because we don't know if we can save the tank or use the tank. So before we go to a whole load of work that we don't need to do, all I'm going to do is put in all the various drain plugs and connect the tank up and see if it will firstly hold the pressure and not leak. And if it does, then we can clean it up and clean it out. If it doesn't, it's just got to be taken out or bypassed. I don't know whether that will hold or not. And then the next scenario is this here. So very clearly there was a 90-degree bend in here and a tap, because this is the tank drain down or the house drain down. This is the return pipe to the well. So there's something's been removed from here, and whatever that something is isn't here. So I've brought a number of things with me, hoping I can somehow get round the bend with a tap. And this would be my favourite solution because, oh bloody hell, we're nearly there. Because this is a 90-degree tap and it works. And you know, that's nearly I don't know if this will. That's nearly exactly what I want. Alright, well we've got this tap on here. And we've got the drain plug in underneath there. So let's see if we can make any kind of pressure. Yeah. I'll sit you in front of this. They don't appear to have any leaks on these pipes, but anyway. Let's see if we can make any pressure. Now, I haven't checked this pump, so I'm assuming it's held water. Today's Monday morning, and we were last here Saturday afternoon, so let's find out. Oh, pressure! Right, so not only is that pressurising, you'll notice that's very quiet. Have we got a little weep there from the air? Let's tighten that up. Right, so we must be filling this tank up now then. I don't think the pressure gauge has moved on that, but there's a real fast way of telling, and that's open this new tap we just... okay. We have water. Okay, so we've got water in the tank. Right. So I guess we fill the tank. I would guess that's the next thing to do, since there doesn't appear to be any water draining out of the tank. So we've got to fill the pipes into the house. Let's test some more. Hey, that's pushing a lot of pressure. So we should be pumping water up into the house about now. I can hear air moving in the pipes above me. So let's go and check, because we might be on to the next phase of moving into the house and actually pumping water up these pipes, so that the pipe from the tank comes up and it splits there, one left, one right. This one comes this way and goes that way. Well, that's going to the bathroom, and this one comes here and goes up, and that's going to the kitchen. There's only 2 water pipes. This is a hot water return. So, we'll exit from the mine shaft into the kitchen, which looks like a builder's site. It's much easier to do this work when there's nobody at home. Right, so the sink comes to here. We don't have a tap for this. I have to sort that out. And then through here is the... oh, there's water. Look at that. We have water coming into this room. Now, I've disconnected that up there for a reason. That goes to the water heater, which is not connected. We don't want any water running through... that don't look good. That don't look good at all. Nice. Anyway, we appear to be pumping water into the bathroom. Oh, we can see it here. Look. Okay, this is where we find out if the drains run. Have we got water coming out of here? Yes, we do. So we have water into the house. Amazing. Alright. Well, I suppose really then we should pump up some more and clear all this dirt out with the pipes. Okay, we'll pump it. Well, the pressure's not looking very good at the minute, what I've got to say. Yeah, the pressure is definitely building. I can hear water running somewhere else. We've got water running out of there? Yes, we do. There we go. Look at that. Water running into the kitchen. First time since 1999. Look at that. Amazing. Because of the pressure tank, we still have good water pressure. The pump's been switched off for a few minutes now. So I've got a theory. Because I've had it happen to me before. Have I run the well dry? It's difficult to say. There is a way of being able to test that. The other thing I want to test is the cesspit, pool, drain tank, grey water, shit hole. Right. Yeah, that looks lower than it should be. Okay, this is what we do. Somewhere in my pocket, if I've done my job right, there we go, we've got a laser level. We'll measure the depth of the water. There. That's the depth of the water. 9, 6, 17. Right, it's metric. You just have to live with that. You don't need to know what 9, 6, 17 is. You just need to know if the number reduces if we leave the pump off. Right, see what we've got going on over here. Right, it's running. This is what's called a separator tank. Quite a ways from the building, downriver from the well. The idea to that is all the solids settle to the bottom and the water overflows and comes out the outlet. And we've got some pipes here that must be connected. There's one, and there's another one further through there. Vent pipes. Now, these were originally brick colour, and they're faded to pure white. The foul side, the grey water side, that's working. We've got the pressure tank pressurised, and we've got water to the kitchen sink and to the bathroom. Albeit the pressure's not very good. Different pumps do different things, and there's many different types of different pumps for all kinds of different applications. And it is true, a sump pump won't suck. It has to pump. It has to be submerged in water, submersible pump. Jet pumps, however, will suck and pump. But they won't suck unless they can pump. So, before, what I'm saying is, these jet pumps won't suck air. They'll suck water. Absolutely suck water because they're pushing water. If they've got no water to push, they won't suck water. So, you know, this is where the whole physics thing comes into play. You've got to be pushing before you can suck. Yep, that's true. That is. in all applications. So, for some reason, we're not drawing from the bottom of the well at the moment, but we have been for the last 20 minutes. So I'm going to leave that well while we have a cup of coffee and see if the water level comes back up. Wells, do I even want to go into how wells work? They draw water from the ground level around it, and we've had so much rain, there's no problem with drawing water from the ground around it. And then what we're going to try and do in the bathroom is this here, right? This is a clothes dryer. Right, this is not required. I'm going to take this out of the way, and there is far too, for a shower room, and there's the end of the shower, there are far too many electric appliances in here. So we're going to do away with that electrical appliance and take it right back to there. And we're also going to do away with those electrics up there and take them back to there. We've got an issue with the fan not working, can't imagine why that is. And where these two are disconnected there, we're going to blank off this pipe at the bottom there so we can create pressure. And we've still got pressure, look at that. Pump's been switched off for quite some time now and the water's still flowing. You know, sometimes I wonder, anybody think I knew what I was doing? So, for all my new subscribers, probably best not underestimate the bumbling fool at the end of the village, probably. Because I know some of you do. Yeah, and then the toilet. Here's a strange thing about the toilet. I found the toilet set up on this block. Okay? Nothing strange you might think about that. They put them on blocks for the old lady so they don't have to bend so far. Except this could never have worked. Could never have worked. And I'll show you why. We'll place the toilet back on the block. And we'll slide the toilet into where it was sat. Except, as you can see, right, it don't fit. It don't sit in there. Right, in addition to that, the water pipe's been connected. Right, it ain't long enough. And was never long enough. I don't know if you saw that. I'll do it again, the water pipe. It ain't long enough. And it was never long enough. So, I'm not quite sure what went on there, because you can tell from the dirt, right, that's been there for a while. We're going to take it off and put the toilet back as it was. Which is why I lifted the toilet off of its position. Because that don't work. That ain't no good. I'm not quite sure who came up with that configuration. But they was either using some weird science I don't know anything about, or using some weird science I don't know anything about. Right, since we don't know anything about weird science, let's go for coffee and see if that well level increases, and just see if I sucked the well down. I can't imagine I did. Right, that's a lot better now that's out of there. So this concerns me a lot. And I'll switch the power off, but I don't think that wants to be there. There are these plug sockets up here. I guess I could leave those for a minute, but we need to get that out of there. For sure we do. Where's the step ladder, Simon? Not where it should be. I think there are multiple birds in that air vent. This is quite disgusting, I've got to tell you. Right, I'm happy now that's out of the way. Did it have a rubber grommet in the top to stop water from going in there? No, it didn't. That's a surprise. Okay, we can see a bit more what we're doing now. And why that tap is open. Okay. I'm not quite sure what that bit of string is for. Now we need to cap that pipe off. Right, I shut the pump off there because that's almost at 3 bar of pressure, let's call it. Well, I noticed the pressure switch on the tank is also set at 3 bar. Right, so that's obviously what it's designed to run at. That pressure, however, is not really being translated to these pipes. It's just the same, no matter how much pressure I build. I've been messing around with the pressure for a little while now, and I don't seem to be able to get any pressure, and I don't know why. So here's where I'm at. I've turned the tap off there, which is the water into the house, and I've turned the tap off there, and I've maintained exceedingly high pressure in the tank. So then I've disconnected that to make sure I've got sufficient water and pressure coming from the pump. Very clearly, nothing wrong with the volume of water, and yet when I connect it up to the tank and undo the both taps, so the issue's got to be with the pipe work, because the tank pressurises to where it should do, which is where it should shut off the power switch. So at this point there should be so much pressure in the house, and there isn't. Okay, let's connect all this back up again. Tuesday morning, I'm having trouble. So I've hooked up the air compressor and checked the air pressure in the tank, in the pump. No, it's fine. but the pump itself won't hold pressure. So even if I turn off the water coming into the house, I mean, I've had some success. I've got water into the toilet system and it does indeed flush. I've also got water here. And to here. And to there. But it won't build pressure. So last night I did an extra bit of research on the manufacture of that pump and the draw height of water. I know one or two of you made comments. Draw height on the water. Now we're going to do it in metric because that's what everybody, so we're just going to use numbers. Right, the draw height, maximum draw height is 10.3 and I'm at 7.8 plus the elevation to the base of the cellar gives me another 1.2. So we're well within the range of what the manufacturer said that initial draw or the initial draw height of the water is. So you add then the 7 plus the 4 to the cellar and the 0.8 up, and the pump is rated for 30 and we're at 15, 16. So we're at half the capacity. I've got to go back down that well because if I shut the pump off at this end, it still won't build pressure without whatever's going on in the house. Now we know for a fact it's not releasing pressure down the line and that the foot valve is not letting water back in. So this holds pressure for 2 days or holds water for 2 days. It also resists air pressure and water pressure pushed back down the line, and we was pushing that back down or attempting to push that back down the line at 30 psi. So yeah, back down the well. The purpose of the well investigation, I got me ladder tied off, right? I got a harness or anything like that. We don't have a second person anyway today. So the purpose of this is I'm going to take the main line, the new line that I put in with the foot valve off and bring it up and inspect the foot valve. And I'm going to look at that pump that's down there and see, before, the purpose of what I was doing was trying to get water to the house, but check everything on the way before we could really get into the big money. I'm not convinced that pump, there's an issue somewhere. There's nothing wrong with the pump, but it won't build pressure against itself, which it should. And the reason, I mean, they don't put pumps in wells anymore like this. That was old technology. That was the way it was done. But it could be a case of I have to put a submersible pump in the bottom of the well and replace that big old galvanised tank, because I don't think that tank is pressurising either. Yeah. So the thing we know that's good is we know the pipe from the well to the cellar is good. We know this is good. Irrespective of this valve in the middle, we know this is good. It holds pressure in both directions. It's not sucking any air, because then it would blow out air, or we would lose pressure, or we would lose water. But I need to check that main line down, and I need to check the foot valve. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to go down. And we're going to check that. Here we go again. Down the hole. The beauty of the diameter of this well is when you're going down a ladder, right, because of the diameter of it, it's really hard to come off the ladder. I'm not saying it's impossible. Right, so here's the fitting we did, the new fitting here with the new pipe. We know we're good from there to the cellar. So I'm going to take that off and pull this line back up and inspect the foot valve. And then while we're down here, I want to have another look to see how feasible it is to get this pump out. pump that I'm stood on. Yeah, I don't know. And it's also really awkward to get down to where you need to be to get anything done because of the lack of room you've got down here. So I'm not quite sure where I am with that. Yeah. We'll start by getting this line out and inspecting this again. I don't know. Well, I do know this pump is pre-1999. That's what I do know. We know that for a fact. I can't even really see how it's connected onto this platform, if I'm honest. Whether it just sits on there or whether it's bolted on there. Anyway, I'm going to put you back in my pocket before you disappear down the bottom of the well. Well, I'm down here on the pump. While I was down there, I thought I'd have a go again at cracking this pump, getting the pump broken free. So I got a pair of vice grips with the teeth ground down, narrow ones, so I could get in. Anyway, I got that on there and I'm wiggling around for a while and eventually it cracked. And I wiggled the pump backwards and forwards and managed to turn it 360 degrees, none of which I filmed because firstly, it was on charge, and secondly, I'm down a hole where I can hardly move. And then I'm like, well, what's the problem I'm having with the electrics? Let's investigate the electrics. And again, I didn't bring you with me, but I brought you with me now. Because I got something some of you will never have seen. Here we go. So there's two little screws. That's taken ages to get them rusty screws out. And then once I got into the right position, I bent down and I cracked the top off. Check that out. Well, no wonder there was an electrical issue. Jeez. Okay, I've taken the liberty of setting my air compressor up the top and brought down an air line. Because I couldn't think of a better way of getting all that nasty stuff out than with an air line. I can't imagine that's going to work. I really can't. Well, I freed the pump up, but I'm pretty sure it's done for. Although it does look better than it did. Maybe it isn't, I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Well, it's got two phases going on to that one there. Anyway, now it's cleaned out. It don't look too bad. Okay, that was a shocker. Okay. Well, all I can do at this point, since I freed the pump up and cleaned the electrics, is try it again. And if it still don't work, then we know it's done for. What's interesting is this pump is not connected to anything, as in it's just sitting on this steel bearer, and the other end goes into there, there's a hole there. I don't know what's in that hole, but there is a hole there. I don't know what is in that hole. You can see better than I can, albeit upside down. Anyway, now, see where we go from here. Put this back together. Right, we've gone back a few steps to go forwards. So what I've done, that's the original foot pump of the pump that was down there. That goes over there. I've taken that out. That's the new foot pump that I put down there. That went from the elbow bend in the well. So I've disconnected the pump and I've disconnected the wiring. And you can't even see down there. I now need the help of my trusty Land Cruiser, which we're going to get. And we're going to winch that big pump out the hole because it's no good. It's no good at all. Then I'm going to make a new platform down there. And then I'm going to put the pump that we've got down in the well. Which means it's got a draw height of 5 metres. I mean, where are we with that? 20 feet. And the rest is pumping. And I'm going to try that. And see how we go with that. Wouldn't life be easy if I had another man or woman, somebody to press a button. Inch by inch by inch. What you have to be aware of now is there's no pump down there, so if I slip I go all the way to the bottom. The rims are not any smaller, so I don't understand why it won't come up. I haven't actually thought about what we're going to do when we reach the end of the winch. Well, that's the pump out. The last bit was quite hard, but yeah, it'd have been easier if I'd had somebody on the switch. And anyway, I haven't quite trained Casper to do that yet. So the platform the pump was stuck on is stuck halfway down the well. I've got to go down and get that because I've got a new one to put down there. So let's go and recover that. And be very wary of how dangerous that well now is. Because before it just would have been a bad injury and I'd have been stuck on top of the pump. But now I go all the way down and right at the moment I don't even have a rope to swim to the top of the water and hold on. So yeah, I've got to deal with that. This is the platform to which the pump was sat on. Very clearly rotten. We've got something new to replace that with. And the pump. Whew. Okay, which we know is no use. Wow. Right, I've recreated what was down in the well with this. So I'm going to go down first and I'm going to put the base in, install the base. Then I'm going to take the pump down and secure the pump to the base. Then I can connect the foot pump, the foot valve to there, going down the bottom of the well. And then I can put the connecting tube between there and the 90-degree bend in the well, but before I connect it up at the top, I can backfill the pump and the pipe down to the foot valve. At that point, I should be able to produce maximum amount of pressure. Quite light. There, the pump has landed. It's on its new platform. Easy as that. Okay. Okay. So I've got the pump on the platform and I've got the foot valve installed and installed to the pump. And then I've got the pipe on top of the pump down to this 90-degree bend going into the well installed, but I've not installed the top knuckle by the 90-degree bend. Now what I'm going to do is run a hose pipe from here down to the top of that pipe, and I'm going to backfill it with water to get all the air out. Then I can connect up the 90-degree bend. Then we can run a temporary, I've got a power supply here, but we're going to run a temporary power supply down to the pump and fire it up. and see if it gives us pressure in the cellar. So before I connect up that mainline water hose between the top of the pump and the 90-degree bend that goes to the cellar, I'm going to screw the pump to the new landing I've made. And then on the way up, I'm going to connect the end of this hose into the top of that pipe and prime the leading pipe from the foot valve to the pump and the pipe up to the 90-degree bend. That'll ensure I'm sufficiently primed. And while I'm on the subject of priming, and you're seeing me standing in a well, there seems to be some misperception somewhere along the line that I make this up as I go along, or this is a channel for morons or idiots to have a go at just about anything. Let me assure you, I am a professional in more subjects than most people can study. And there are members of the public, followers of my channel, fellow YouTubers that have no skills, zero. And what they're doing is they're replicating what I'm doing in order to get views or glory or something else. Stop it, don't. Right, you don't have the skills, you don't have the know-how, you don't have the knowledge. Why do I bring this up now? I was working till 11 o'clock last night. I'm sure they thought I was doing them a favour. I wasn't, I was working, going to help out a man that has no talent, no equipment, no skill and no know-how, copying me cutting down a dead tree that wasn't on his land between several buildings, albeit outbuildings, and a mains power cable. I spent the first 30 minutes calling him every name I could think of. Whilst my brain kicked into gear is how to recover a hard leaning back rotten tree with a notch at 60 to 65% and a back cut at 30%. No, we can change that now. We can change that to a notch at 65% and a back cut at 68%, at 38%. I can't even tell you how this tree was still standing up and it was back leaning at night, endangering my life. He's out there in flip-flops. Morons. You morons. Stop it. Right, this is an entertainment channel for you to watch me. Don't go out there and try it by yourself unless you've got the know-how with the skill and the equipment. Am I going down this ladder without a safety harness? Yeah, I am. I wonder how many times I've been up and down ladders in dangerous situations without a safety harness. Probably more times than you've had porridge for breakfast. Anyway, what I'm saying is, it must be the way I look or the way I speak. There are a lot of copycats out there and they're going to hurt somebody. Please don't do it. This is an entertainment channel. That's all it is. It's great entertainment. You can see how much fun I'm having going up and down this ladder. Let's see what's what. There we go. Oh, we can hear it gurgling. It's coming. Have we got any pressure though? No. No pressure, although it's increasing in pressure. It's now Wednesday morning. In fact, it's a good few hours into Wednesday morning, and I'm done with this, I am. So, I've got to pump down the well and it's pumping. And it's pumping flat out. This is the connection I've got. And it's performing worse than it did before, because I could pressurise this to number 3 before, and now it won't pressurise above number 2. Whatever that is. And I've got, and I'm going to show you, really, really, really good flow of water up here. But once again, the pump will not pressurise. And it's in the bottom of the well, and I've been up and down, up and down, up and down, and checked my joints and leaks. There's no joints and there's no leaks, and we know the pipe holds pressure. Now, why am I thinking it's the pump? Do you know, something bothered me when I picked that pump up. When I picked that pump's about 20 hours old. However, it has sat in a cellar for a couple of years. When I picked it up, because I asked to borrow it to make sure it would work, it was full of water, and I was like, oh no, he hasn't emptied it out properly. Did I check that pump? No. Would it pressurise against itself when it was in the cellar? No. Was it drawing water okay? Yes. Will it pressurise against itself now it's in the bottom of the well? No. Is it pumping water okay? Yes. It's got to be the pump. My lines, there's nothing wrong with my lines. They hold pressure in both ways. They hold water over the weekend. The lines are good. Has to be the pump. Which means I've got to drain all this water down, go back down into the cellar, disconnect all the pipes, and bring that pump back up and inspect that pump. Should I have inspected that pump before it went down there? Well, like I say, it's 20 hours old. Has he burst a pump before? Yes, he has. Has other people burst their pumps before by not draining them out properly? Yes. Is this an awkward situation? Very. Because I borrowed a pump that could well have been damaged when I picked it up and I didn't check it. What a fool. If I've spent all this time, anyway, we're not going to go into that. We're going to undo all this, go back down, retrieve that pump, because it doesn't work. In fact, it works worse. It works worse down in that well than it does up here. So, let's undo all this and go and get that pump. So the point of this trip is I'm trying to make this the last time I have to go down this well. What I've got down here is a straight pipe with a foot valve on the bottom. And I'm going to run that into the bottom of the cellar and connect the top to the 90-degree bend, which then connects me back up to the cellar. There are no pumps, there was no power down here, nothing. Just this one tube. Last time. I said right at the beginning of this video, part 1, if you haven't seen that, you should go and take a look. I weren't going down here. Did that go well? Yeah. I so hope it's the last time. I really am quite done with this well.